Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Thomas Mitchell, and after living for 101 years, I've learned that one of the most powerful tools we have in life is positive thinking. It's a tool that has helped me navigate the challenges of aging, the ups and downs of life, and the obstacles that come our way. Today, I want to share how positive thinking has shaped my life and how it can change yours too. When I was younger, I faced many struggles, as we all do. Life was not always easy, and there were times I felt lost and uncertain about my future. There were moments of doubt, confusion, and even fear. I faced personal challenges, health issues, and the constant pressure to succeed. But as I look back over my 101 years, I realize something crucial. How we think about life plays a much greater role in our happiness and success than the circumstances we face. You see, when we let negative thinking take root, it can easily spiral. Negative thoughts often focus on what we lack, what's wrong, or what's not working in our lives. This leads to frustration, hopelessness, and sometimes we become stuck. For years, I didn't realize that by allowing self-doubt or fear of failure to control my mind, I was actually limiting my potential. But there was a turning point. When I began to shift my perspective, things started to change. I started seeing obstacles as opportunities. Instead of seeing failure as something to fear, I began to view it as a learning experience, a step toward growth. This shift wasn't immediate, and it took time. But once I embraced positive thinking, everything changed. Looking back, I can confidently say that mindset was the most powerful tool I had in overcoming life's challenges. It's what kept me moving forward, even during the toughest times. Positive thinking has a way of transforming even the most difficult moments into chances for growth, understanding, and self-improvement. As I grew older, I came to realize that gratitude is one of the most powerful practices that can shape our lives. In my early years, I was focused on success and achievements, often striving for more and more without taking time to appreciate what I already had. But over time, I began to see the immense value of gratitude, not as a fleeting feeling, but as a way of life. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a conscious mindset, a lens through which we view the world. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you naturally start to notice the good in your life, even during tough times. I found that when I looked for things to be grateful for, whether it was the simple beauty of nature, the love of family, or the opportunity to learn new things, my heart felt lighter and my mind more at peace. You might think, what about the difficult times? How can I be grateful when life feels hard? And I understand. I've had my fair share of challenges, but gratitude doesn't ignore the difficulties. Instead, it invites you to find the silver lining, to shift your focus from what's lacking to what you have. It helps you see that even in hardship, there's something valuable, a lesson, a strength, a moment of beauty. I started keeping a journal, jotting down things I was grateful for each day, no matter how small. And over the years, that practice helped me cultivate a deep sense of appreciation for life. Even in my 101st year, gratitude remains my anchor. It reminds me daily that despite everything, there's always something worth celebrating, something worth being thankful for. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned over my 101 years is the power of reframing negative thoughts. Life will always have its challenges, and we all face moments of doubt, fear, and frustration. But what I've realized is that the way we choose to respond to those thoughts can make all the difference. When I was younger, like many people, I had a tendency to dwell on the negative. If things didn't go as planned, I'd get caught in a spiral of self-criticism or focus on what went wrong. I saw every setback as a failure, every mistake as something that couldn't be fixed. But over time, I learned that negative thoughts are natural. We all experience them. What matters is how we handle them. Instead of letting those thoughts control me, I began to practice reframing them. Reframing is the act of looking at a situation from a different perspective, seeing the opportunity in a challenge, the lesson in a mistake. For example, if I faced a health issue, I no longer focused solely on the fear of illness. I started asking myself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? It's not always easy, but reframing negative thoughts is a skill that can be developed. It's about choosing to see the good in every situation, no matter how difficult it may seem. When you make the conscious decision to see the world in a more positive light, you're not denying the existence of problems. Instead, you're empowering yourself to focus on solutions, strengths, and growth. It's about changing your internal narrative from one of defeat to one of possibility. Over the years, I've come to understand that reframing is not just about staying positive, it's about being resilient, adaptable, and open to the lessons that life presents. When you embrace this practice, life's challenges become opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. As I reflect on my 101 years of life, one of the most surprising realizations I've had is just how interconnected our mental and physical health really are. I used to think that physical well-being was mostly about genetics, exercise, and diet, and while those things are important, I've come to understand that mental health plays an equally crucial role in our physical vitality. A positive mindset is not just about feeling good emotionally, it's about feeling good physically too. When I was younger, I didn't fully grasp the importance of stress management and emotional well-being. As life went on, I faced various health issues, as we all do, and it was during those times that I started to notice something profound. The more I stressed and worried, the more my body responded negatively. Sleepless nights, fatigue, aches, and even higher blood pressure. But when I took a moment to breathe, to focus on something positive, to reframe the situation, something shifted. I realized that when my mind was calm, optimistic, and hopeful, my body responded differently. Positive thinking doesn't just improve your mood, it can boost your immune system, lower blood pressure, and even increase your lifespan. Studies have shown that people who maintain a positive outlook tend to live longer and enjoy better health in their later years, and I've seen that truth firsthand. For me, staying positive meant keeping my mind at peace. When I focused on the good in my life, the love of my family, the joy in small moments, and the beauty around me, I felt more energized, more resilient. Even as I age, this practice continues to be one of the most powerful tools I have for maintaining my health. A positive mind leads to a healthier body, and over the years, I've found that to be an absolute truth. Now, you might be wondering, how can I start cultivating positive thinking in my own life? Well, after living for 101 years, I can tell you that it's not an overnight change. Positive thinking is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice, patience, and commitment. It's not about pretending that everything is perfect or ignoring the challenges in life. It's about choosing to look at life through a lens of hope, resilience, and possibility. The first step for me was starting each day with gratitude. Every morning, I would take a moment to reflect on the things I was thankful for, no matter how small. Some days, it was simply the warmth of the sun or the kindness of a neighbor. Other days, it was the deep love I felt from my family. This small but powerful practice helps set the tone for the day. When you start your day with gratitude, it's as though you're training your brain to notice the positive, even before life's challenges arise. Next, I learned to reframe negative thoughts. It's easy to get caught up in self-doubt or worry, especially in difficult times. But I began to recognize when I was thinking negatively and actively chose to reframe those thoughts. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, I'd remind myself, this is tough, but I'll find a way. The more I practiced this, the more it became natural. The trick is to acknowledge the negative, but not let it control you. Shift your focus back to the possibilities and solutions. Another key practice is surrounding yourself with positivity. Whether it's the people you interact with, the media you consume, or the environments you spend time in, the energy around you plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. I've always tried to surround myself with optimistic people who lift me up and encourage me. I read books that inspire me, watch movies that make me laugh, and do my best to avoid negativity. Finally, remember that positive thinking is a choice. It's easy to fall into old patterns of negativity, but with time and practice, it becomes easier to choose hope over fear, optimism over pessimism. It's about being intentional with your thoughts and actions. Yes, life will throw challenges your way, but how you respond to them is up to you. And trust me, choosing to stay positive will transform not just your outlook, but your entire life. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties in life. It means choosing to focus on the opportunities, the lessons, and the good. It's about building resilience, finding joy in the little things, and creating a life that's meaningful, no matter the circumstances. If there's one piece of advice I can give you from my one-on-one years of life, it's this: your mindset is everything. The way you think can shape the way you live. Choose positivity and watch how it transforms your world. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more life lessons from my 101 years of wisdom.